Do you sometimes say to yourself, why am I so lazy? Why am I so messy or feckless? Why can't I set goals for myself? Don't be so hard on yourself. Maybe it's not because you are lazy or feckless, but because you have ADHD, which means attention deficit and hyperactivity disorders. Let's talk about this. Let me state at the beginning of this video, the purpose of this video is not to diagnose, but to give you an information about adult type ADHD. In this way, perhaps you can get an idea about some hard situations in your life that you can't explain and get help from an expert. When ADHD is mentioned, the first thing that comes to mind is children. But ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder that begins in childhood and continues into adulthood. You can say, I am lazy. How can I have hyperactivity disorder? Not all ADHD people are hyperactive. ADHD people are not always inattentive. They can focus on something they are really interested in. In fact, they are sometimes so focused that they don't see or hear anything else. This is called overfocusing. Their main problem is shifting attention from one task to another. Actually, there are 3 types of ADHD. First, hyperactive and impulsive type ADHD. It is the appearance in which hyperactivity and impulsivity is dominant. 2. Inattentive type ADHD. It is the appearance in which attention deficit is dominant. They don't have hyperactivity, but they have attention problems. 3. Combined type ADHD. It is the appearance in which both symptom clusters are dominant. Well, let's get to the point. What are the 9 signs of adult type ADHD? Let's look at them. 1. Procrastination and inability to start or finish tasks. Many people with ADHD have difficulty in starting and maintaining tasks that require particular attention or in tasks that do not interest them. They may procrastinate all the time, or they may start more than one job, leave it unfinished, or move on the next without finishing one. In this way, even though a lot of time is spent, there is no finished work. 2. Hyperfocus. For some people with ADHD, the problem is excessive focus. A person with ADHD can get so engrossed in something that they can become unaware of anything else around them. For example, if you are hyper-focused, you may not see or hear people coming in and out of the office while you are working in the computer, or you may not hear someone calling you. Do you find it difficult to prepare a weekly or a daily work plan for yourself, or to create to-do list? Individuals with ADHD have serious difficulties in planning their priorities. While they have an important job to do, they may spend hours on another non-priority job. They often fail to fulfill their responsibilities. Irregular work habits, lack of planning, and difficulty keeping things in order are some symptoms of ADHD. And poor time management. Inability to organize and making plan brings bad time management as a result. They are often late for something, and they can't get things done on time. Do you often forget or lose the items you use, such as forgetting to take your cell phone with you, or losing your coat, your umbrella, or your keys? It's human to forget things sometimes, but for someone with ADHD, forgetfulness tends to occur more often. As you know, listening requires serious focusing skills. Unfortunately, most of the people with ADHD are not very good at listening. They can bored very quickly. They can get distracted easily. They don't like going into details. They may daydream while listening. In addition, some people with ADHD may talk a lot, which makes it difficult to listen. Impulsivity is the tendency to act without thinking, and inability to delay gratification. Being in a hurry, acting impatiently. For example, having difficulties in waiting in line or waiting in traffic lights. Interrupting others during conversation. Spending money without thinking. Taking risky jobs are some of the symptoms of impulsivity. All this often leads to accidents, careless mistakes, and clumsiness. Do you often say the first things that come to your mind and then regret it later? Do you often blurt out tactless remarks or drop a clanger? Did you know that this can be caused by ADHD? Due to impulsivity, talking without thinking about the consequences, and thus unintentionally offending or angering someone is often seen in ADHD, and this seriously affects relationships negatively. Childhood hyperactivity and impulsivity drastically diminish in adulthood, but in some people, it is replaced by restlessness or inability to relax. As a result, symptoms such as boredom, overthinking, being constantly busy with new thoughts or ideas, inability to stay still, inability to stay in the present moment, emotional outbursts, and inability to cope with stress are frequently seen. By the way, these symptoms may appear temporarily at certain times of our lives. For example, when we are stressed or anxious, we may experience some problems about focusing or forgetfulness. In fact, a psychiatrist is the right person who can make right distinction and makes diagnosis. Therefore, you can consult a psychiatrist if you have most of the symptoms for more than 6 months, and if these symptoms negatively affect your life. If you're interested in personal development and psychology, you're in the right channel. We upload new videos every week on this channel about these topics. If you don't want to miss a new video, please do not forget to subscribe this channel.